They have lived in the Everglades since the 1990s and slowly kept spreading. For many years people in South Florida believed everything was still under control. Water continued to flow and the wetlands stayed green without visible disaster. Nothing dramatic seemed to be happening in plain sight for most residents. But quiet footage showed the Everglades was telling a very different story. The Python control program targeted invasive snakes but affected much more than expected. It began altering a system that protects human life every single day. That system includes water filtration, flood control, and natural ecological protection. When interventions go too far, consequences do not appear immediately. They slowly build up, spread outward, and return in very real ways. This is no longer just a story about snakes in the swamp. It is a story about decisions made with good intentions and hidden long-term costs. People believed they were doing the right thing until consequences became visible. So what really happened after this control program began? And why did its impact spread far beyond the Everglades ecosystem? Let us take a closer and calmer look. The Everglades did not collapse suddenly in one dramatic moment. It crossed a critical threshold that most people failed to notice. By the time change became obvious, many things were already disappearing. When Florida decided to act, the question had changed completely. It was no longer how to control pythons but whether recovery was possible. Scientists were troubled because no one knew exactly when balance was lost. Large pythons were not what first truly alarmed researchers. What raised concern were gaps appearing in environmental camera footage. The same locations filmed yearly showed fewer native animals every season. At first, these disappearances went almost completely unnoticed. There were no mass deaths or violent scenes of predation. Common animals like rabbits, raccoons, and possums slowly stopped appearing. Waterways once full of movement became unnaturally still. That silence hid the seriousness of the problem for many years. When biologists compared footage with python maps, patterns became clear. Areas where pythons arrived first lost native animals the fastest. This was not random decline or seasonal movement. It was near total disappearance of small mammals. Roadkill surveys revealed another warning sign. Instead of increasing, numbers dropped sharply in many regions. Not because roads were safer but because animals were gone. Later stomach studies confirmed what footage had suggested. Burmese pythons eat almost anything they can swallow. They consume birds, mammals, and species vital for ecosystem balance. When those species disappear, effects spread beyond the food chain. Vegetation, insects, and even water quality begin to change. Some insects exploded in numbers while others vanished completely. Migratory birds arrived late or stopped returning altogether. Each change alone seems small but together showed deep damage. Florida did not respond slowly because of missing data. People simply do not recognize absence as an emergency signal. Ecosystems do not scream when they fail. They only grow quieter over time. By the time silence is noticed, chain reactions have already begun. When collapse signs became impossible to ignore, Florida stayed calm. The response focused on restoring order, not panic. Pythons could be seen tracked, hunted, and removed. At least that was the belief at the time. Bounty programs expanded and hunters went deeper into swamps. Long, dangerous searches became routine in harsh conditions. These efforts did capture large pythons. Captured snakes were shown publicly as proof of control. But data revealed an uncomfortable truth. Each removed python created only a temporary gap. Cleared areas soon showed new python activity. The Everglades was too vast and complex. Pythons reproduced faster than hunting efforts could manage. Florida then shifted to a different approach. They used scent instead of human vision. Two trained dogs, Truman and Ellelaner, joined the mission. They detected faint python odors humans could not sense. Early results were impressive and surprising. Dogs found hidden pythons within minutes. Teams learned to read subtle dog signals carefully. For a moment it felt like an advantage. But limits quickly became clear. The Everglades covers over 1 million acres. Two dogs could not cover such scale. Hundreds of teams would be needed at huge cost. What seemed like a breakthrough was only local. Meanwhile, another experiment quietly began. Live marsh rabbits were placed inside protective cages. The cages allowed scent, sound, and movement without harm. The goal was to attract pythons naturally. Results were immediate and successful. Footage showed pythons arriving one after another. Scientifically, it worked extremely well. Socially, it became a disaster. Images of frightened rabbits caused public outrage. Animal welfare groups spoke loudly against the method. Public pressure forced the program to stop. Florida abandoned the most effective but controversial option. By then, a clear reality emerged. Florida lacked neither ideas nor effort. Every method reacted too slowly after damage appeared. The Everglades was changing faster than responses. A dangerous question then emerged. What if humans built something pythons could not resist? That question changed everything. The idea came from exhaustion, not recklessness. Years of failure forced a new direction. Humans could not chase pythons across massive wetlands. The only option was forcing pythons to reveal themselves. Engineers and biologists worked together closely. Their goal was creating the perfect lure. Not a live animal and not controversial. Something realistic enough to fool ancient instincts. What they built looked like science fiction. A fake marsh rabbit covered in synthetic fur. It survived rain, sun, and swamp mud. A heating element matched real prey temperature. Scents mimicked natural musk in humid air. Some versions even moved slightly. Enough to trigger predator strike behavior. They called it Robo Rabbit. Each unit cost thousands of dollars. Units were placed in known python hotspots. Robo Rabbit was more than a lure. It contained cameras, motion sensors, and transmitters. Anything approaching was recorded instantly. Data streamed back to researchers in near real time. Early days felt like success. Signals flooded in quickly. Footage showed massive pythons approaching directly. They tested scent, sensed heat, and then struck. Rapid response teams were deployed and python captures increased noticeably within a very short time. During internal meetings, a new word appeared for the first time: breakthrough. Then the third day changed everything completely. A trigger signal came from a robo rabbit near a deep water channel. Biologists expected another python to appear on the screen. Instead, a large dark shape drifted slowly under the water surface. It looked like a living log moving quietly. It was an adult alligator. The alligator did not hesitate or inspect the lure for long. It was drawn by the same heat, scent, and movement signals. The alligator lunged directly toward the robo rabbit. Within seconds, the metal frame was crushed completely. The device worth thousands of dollars vanished in one bite. That moment revealed the real problem to everyone involved. Robo Rabbit attracted more than just pythons. It attracted every major predator in the Everglades. These species had competed for millions of years before humans arrived. Alligators quickly learned the devices were easy to destroy. Even though the objects were not edible, They began actively seeking and smashing the devices. Meanwhile, pythons became more cautious and avoided alligator areas. Traps that once worked well suddenly went silent. The Robo Rabbit project quickly entered a serious crisis. Devices were destroyed and costs rose rapidly. Pythons stopped responding to the lure. An ancient predator rivalry was reactivated unexpectedly. Florida did not defeat pythons with technology. But it forced the ecosystem to change predator behavior naturally. The Robo Rabbit project was labeled a failure publicly. Few realized something valuable was still being recorded. That valuable thing was data. This data revealed how pythons truly move, hunt and hide. As Robo Rabbit collapsed, most researchers believed it was another failed experiment. Devices were destroyed and expenses continued rising. Pythons stopped approaching traps entirely. Previously active areas became silent again. On the surface, the project seemed finished. But one critical detail was overlooked. Robo Rabbit was also a data collection system. Every device recorded time, temperature and nearby movement quietly. It tracked pythons, alligators and many other species. At first the data seemed scattered and meaningless. When combined into one map, patterns emerged clearly. Pythons do not wander randomly through the Everglades. They move along fixed, hidden routes. These routes run through grass waterways and root systems. These biological highways connect hunting, shelter and breeding areas. Alligators used many of these same paths. Sometimes they overlapped and sometimes avoided each other precisely. Artificial intelligence processed all collected data. The results shocked researchers deeply. The system began predicting python movement accurately. It showed where they would appear and when. Most importantly, it revealed routes they avoided intentionally. The reason became clear quickly. Pythons hunt while driven by fear. Their greatest enemy is not humans. Their true threat is alligators. Python movement is designed to avoid dangerous encounters. With this invisible map, Florida changed strategy. Hunters were sent to forced movement corridors. Results appeared quickly and clearly. Hunters found clusters instead of isolated pythons. Then came the biggest discovery. Adult female tracking revealed deep Everglades routes. These routes led to unknown breeding zones. Large nesting areas with thousands of eggs were discovered. Python removal numbers surpassed all previous efforts. Robo Rabbit did not win through bait. It exposed the real structure of invasion. As Florida felt confident, a new question appeared. Could humans interfere directly with python survival? Despite success, an uncomfortable truth remained. Hunting alone could not match python reproduction speed. The Everglades was too large and complex. Pythons were too well adapted to survive. A dangerous idea returned quietly. If external control failed, why not internal intervention? Scientists explored biological approaches carefully. The focus was disrupting reproduction, not mass killing. This was seen as the only humane long-term option. But the Everglades is not a laboratory. Biological agents can spread beyond targets. History shows such solutions can backfire badly. Once released, nothing can be taken back. Pressure increased with every breeding season. Small-scale trials began quietly. Individual pythons were closely monitored. Early results showed cautious hope. Some pythons weakened and reproduced less. Movement slowed and agility declined. Some believed this was the correct path. No public hunts or dramatic displays. Population decline could happen silently over generations. This could allow the Everglades to recover. But unease grew alongside hope. The ecosystem is tightly connected. Water, soil, animals and microbes interact constantly. Small changes can spread unpredictably. Internal debates became tense. One side feared inaction more. The other feared irreversible damage. A quiet decision was made. No public announcement was given. The fight entered an unseen phase. The line between control and interference blurred dangerously. The first warning signs did not come from pythons. They came from unexpected native species. Some animals showed weakness without injury. Reflexes slowed and movement became heavy. Birds lingered low longer than usual. Small mammals appeared exhausted without disease. At first, incidents seemed isolated. Later, patterns emerged clearly. Affected areas overlapped trial locations. Not perfectly, but enough to raise concern. The Everglades is an open system. Water, soil, food chains are deeply linked. An agent need not attack directly to cause harm. Shifting one link can trigger reactions. Water and tissue samples showed unusual traces. Levels were low but concerning. The agent may not have stayed contained. The damage was slow, not sudden. Even large predators changed behavior. Some alligators moved slower and reacted less. Experts sensed something was wrong. Silence returned again. Not the silence of balance, but the silence of pressure. Pythons remained, but the question changed. Had humans weakened the system itself? If so, consequences would go far beyond snakes. Thanks for watching till the very end. If this video helped you, press like and subscribe. Check recommended videos on your screen now. See you in the next one.